Hello everyone, welcome to Happy Science Sunday Seminar. I'm Bobby Mai, Minister of Happy Science. Thank you for coming today. We have been dealing with the subject Eightfold Path. In the book, The Laws of the Sun, it says, Eightfold Path is the path to human perfection. It is the wisdom to correct our misdirection and to lead the right life. Please look around the world. We are in the middle of chaos. Corona pandemic, political confusion, disasters, and also racism. We are not too sure what is right, what is wrong. In this chaotic world, we have to live guided by Eightfold Path, which shows us the right direction. Eightfold Path has 8 criteria, such as right view, right thought, right speech, right action, right living, right effort, right will, and right meditation. Today, I'd like to pick right living. You may simply think that the difference between right work and right living is that between one's work and one's life. However, right living has a quite different meaning. In other words, to people living in the modern age, right living is how to make the best use of one's time. There are numerous books on the subject of how to make an effective use of time, and many of you may have read some of these books. Right living can also be expressed as lifestyle, which asks, what lifestyle do you approve? Or what is the good way for you to use time? This question is still valid in this modern age. What lifestyle do you think is ideal in this modern society? If you are an office worker, this question would enable you to understand the difference between right work and right living. This can also be stated as how you spend your time after 5. How have you spent this unlimited time? And as a result, how is your life at present? And how do you think your future will unfold? There was a man who compared the time to gold coins. He said that every day in the morning we are given 24 gold coins in our pockets. However, many people take their gold coins out of their pockets and throw them into the gutters. They do not seem to think it strange. Time is, in truth, more valuable than gold coins. Nevertheless, though many people think it strange to throw away money, they are not concerned much about throwing time away. This is really deplorable, so he said. As Master mentioned in the book, The Laws of God, we ought to consider the equality and the time of 24 hours a day. Considering the equality among people, we do not have more clearer criterion than time. Everyone is given only 24 hours a day. using the 24 hours. Some may become great figure, while others may end up just becoming nuisance of the society. It is said that heaven and hell are divided in the other world, but the truth is they are the world determined by how a person has used his or her own time. For what purpose you have used time. Time management is an unavoidable theme for you in order to practice right law in the present age. If you neglect this, you cannot advance any further. But the time implied here is not only relative time or time measured by clock, but it should be considered as absolute time. I would like to say that you need to improve the per hour efficiency of your time. This efficiency does not simply mean work effectively. It is different from the efficiency of simple work, such as manual labor. What I mean is to enhance the utopian value or the value of God's truth contained in each hour you are given. A person can accomplish certain amount of contribution to the creation of utopia or to God's truth within the 24 hours of a day, and that can be divided by the hours to yield an average. That average must be increased. This is the key to turning your life into gold. This way of thinking is very important in practicing reflection. Reflection upon how you have lived a day is rather vague and hard to practice. But if you check it in the perspective of time, you can study quite deeply. Reflect upon yourself from the viewpoint of how you spend your time. You should reconsider how you spend your time from the time you wake up in the morning till you go to bed, and check how much you should raise the efficiency during that time. That is not the work efficiency. You should check to what extent you could enhance the efficiency of your time from the standpoint of God's truth, or in relation to the creation of a utopia, and see whether or not you spend too much time on irrelevant matters. Desk work can also create the value of God's truth if it is done well with care. Of course, it is done in a very small community, but at least the work has benefited it nonetheless. Therefore, not only activities directly related with God's truth, but even desk work in an ordinary office will also be considered valuable if it is done well in a reliable manner. If one commits anything counter-beneficial, such as makes mistake or cause of trouble for co-workers or clients, that will be evaluated negatively from the standpoint of God's truth. What is important, therefore, is to check the content of work performed per hour. This is a reflection from the perspective of right living. Right work and right living are similar in a way, but as explained above, you can clarify right living from the viewpoint of how to make good use of the time you are given each day. On the other hand, you can approach right work from the perspective of how to do your work or how to lead your life in a much broader sense. Next, we should examine our lifestyle itself. What do you think is your ideal lifestyle? I would like you to think it over. What is your ideal? What ways of life will make you truly satisfied? It is to view the 24 hours of this day from a medium to long-range perspective. Right living also suggests that you should design your way of life from 5 years, 10 years, or longer range perspective. And the most important factor that determines your lifestyle is the time that you are free to use. Particularly important is, among other things, how to spend your free time. During the 24 hours of each day, there is a portion that is required for your everyday sustenance. There is also time that is necessary for your work. Beside the time for those activities, there is time available for your free use. You can use this free time to design your future. This is a kind of a project, designing the plan of your life and actually putting it into practice. Here, while designing your lifestyle, you should at least have your idea, not leading a desultory life. You should set up your own lifestyle or pattern of life and include it, something that is invested in your future. It is important to include in it something that will benefit you in the future. In designing your life, you should build up assets that will enable you to live as a useful, excellent, or pleasant person to be with. Whatever environment or human relationship may confront to you. Among other things, you can think of reading books, listening to music, working out to build a strong body, or taking a course in lifetime education course. You may choose whatever you want, but you should not at least lose sight of the view of investment in your future. In my case, for example, the books that I am reading now are not of any immediate help to the present work, but I know they will help me in 3 years. I am making stock for use in several years. In this summer, I accumulate in orderly fashion, with the view to the fairly distant future. I am now expounding the method of reflection, but what I have in mind is completely different. I am doing various other things in prospect of 3 years, 5 years, 10, 20, or 30 years in the future. I am engaged in diversified activities to take deep root. The deeper the root, the stronger you become against the wind. This is explained in the book, The Unshakable Mind. This idea of taking root in is most important in the subject of right living, in the subject of right work, or from a vocational viewpoint. What is important is to do one's best in one's given environment at present. However, right living involves the idea of enlarging the trunk of your life or deepening the root of your life. This will probably become the basis on which to build a greater capacity in your life and enable you to know or better understand various people's different ways of thinking from broader perspectives. Therefore, in right living, I would like you to include the idea of building greater capacity so that you can manifest your full potential even in a different position from what you are currently placed. And I would also like you to make strategic investment that will acquire higher cultural fruit and improve your physical strength to help you serve other people in various ways. I am sure this is the modern way of life. If you fail to take proper consideration for this point, you will be a grasshopper in the story of ants and grasshopper. In summer, ants worked hard and stored their food to prepare for winter, while grasshoppers spent their time just singing songs, for they had enough food for summer. When winter came, he ran short of food and asked the ants to give something to eat. Then the ants replied, "What were you doing in the summer?" Please discover a way of life that enables you to take root firmly and enlarge the trunk of your life. Right living is a positive reflection that enables you to do that. I strongly urge you practice this kind of positive reflection because we have to live in a chaos world. It's a dark world. We have to prepare for that dark age. It's coming soon. Now we are in the summer, but dark winter is coming soon. Now the time to prepare for it. Now let us watch Master Oka's lecture titled Living in Eternity Now, which explains how to increase utopian value in your life. Please watch.
Master Ryuho Okawa's lecture, Living in Eternity Now, July 29th, 1990. I have selected the title, Living in Eternity Now, for this talk. I wish to talk on the theory of time. First of all, I would like to ask you a question. How do you perceive time? The 24 hours seems to be the same for all of you and for me. That premise that time cannot be increased or decreased is valid too. People say that time cannot be carried forward from the past or used in advance. No one can use yesterday's time or tomorrow's time. However, I am not so sure about this statement. If time is money, why can't we treat time like money? Time as measured by the clock cannot be brought forward from the past or used in advance. But does this principle also apply to subjective time that has some value? I guess that it may not necessarily be the case. Although I first quoted the phrase time is money, on second thought, time is probably many times more valuable than money. As long as we have time, we can accomplish all sorts of work. And as a result of this work, we can earn certain returns. Everyone shares time as measured by the clock. We all have 365 days a year. But if someone can extend 1 year to 10, he or she will have 10 times greater economic effect, even in a simple clerical job. If 10 years' work could be finished in a year, naturally the work would be 10 times more productive. As a matter of fact, the actual effects will be greater than that, because the work we do is not only simple and routine, it also includes more productive tasks. The higher the level of work, the larger the return it produces. Just as the good investment of money will yield a high return, investing time well will enhance its value. Although everybody is living the same 24 hours, each of us lives in a completely different world, depending on the depth and area of our time. What then is the density or depth of time, multiplied by the area of time? This makes the volume of time. The volume is the end result of how you have lived a lifetime of 80 years. From the viewpoint of the theory of time, the volume, density times area, means the sum total of your life. This will be the answer to the question, how much time have you created in your life? Not the length of time, but the volume. Those who have achieved a lot have actually created a large amount of time within their lifetime. Understanding this is a great secret of successful living. Happy Science teaches the objective and mission of life. The objective of life is to accumulate many different experiences through the process of reincarnation. We come to this world and leave it for the other world many times over. The mission of life is to refine the soul and create utopia on earth. What is a utopian society like? It is a world where everyone on earth can live happily and love each other. It is a world filled with light. We incarnate into this world with a mission, to manifest an ideal world on earth. Once you are aware of this, how does it affect your way of life? It dramatically reduces the time you waste, compared with those who have to go through a process of trial and error. Time is certainly more valuable than money, so you have to determine how you will use your time, in the same way that you make a budget for money. You need to decide on the most effective ways of spending your time. Budgeting time is of crucial importance. One day is limited to 24 hours. An average lifetime is about 80 years maximum, so it is particularly important to allocate this limited time to what is essential, in order to create as much time as possible. It is your mission to turn each day of your life into gold. The more deeply you study truth, the better you must live your life. Turn your time into pure gold. Treat each day with great care instead of wasting it. Look after your gold coins, increase their number, and instead of throwing them into a ditch, spend them on others. This is my sincere wish. This is the meaning of living in eternity now. Please take this opportunity to think about time. Thank you very much.
How was the lecture? Now let us practice Eightfold Path on right living. I'd like you to check 2 points. First, reflect on the past week to see how you used your time. For example, how did you use time which is said to have great value, like golden coins? Check every second of your 24 hours. Did you waste your time? Second point, how do you wish to use your week after this seminar? For example, what would you do to change your lifestyle? Can you think of ways to improve your life? And can you actually practice it? Think this out positively. Now I will recite prayer to Guardian and Guiding Spirit. Prayer to Guardian and Guiding Spirits. My Guardian and Guiding Spirits, deep inside of me, you are the fountain of life, the light of hope, the source of wisdom, and the shield of courage. Every day may you help me develop my soul and refine my mind. Every day may you give me inspiration and show me the right path to follow. Please protect me from all evil and guide me in living a better life. For this I give my thanks. Now let us practice self-reflection on right living. First, please reflect on the past week to see how you used your time. Please check following points. How did you use time, which is said to have great value, like golden coins? Check every second of your 24 hours. Did you waste your time? How did you use time, which is said to have great value, like golden coins? Check every second of your 24 hours. Did you waste your time? Please begin. Next, how do you wish to use your week after this seminar? How do you wish to use your week after this seminar? Please check following points. What would you do to change your lifestyle? Can you think of ways to improve your life? And can you actually practice it? Think this out positively. What would you do to change your lifestyle? Can you think of ways to improve your life? And can you actually practice it? Think this out positively. Please begin. How was the self-reflection on right living? Now we'll practice meditation titled Meditation on the Journey Back to Home in Heaven. We will meditate that we are going back to spirit world, heaven. In the heaven, we do not need to work for food. What would you do in the heaven?
では最初、両手をももの上にこの8の字で、手のひら下で結構ですから8の字に置いてください。これを楽に置いてください。あんまり力入れすぎないように。そして、首筋を伸ばす。首筋を伸ばして、そして肩の力少し抜いてください。肩に力が入っていると思いますから力を抜いてください。
First, place your hands lightly on your lap with palms facing down. Let your fingers drape over your legs. There is no need to be tense. Remain relaxed, but straighten your back. Straighten your back and release the tension in your shoulders. Your shoulders are probably tense, so relax your shoulders.
そして頭から首、背中、腰と一本の針金が通っているようなそういう感じを作ってください。
I would like you to sit up straight so that it's like there is a wire running straight through your head, neck, back, and hips.
肩とか手とか無駄なところに力が入っていないように。
Make sure that you are not needlessly tense in the shoulders or your hands or anywhere else.
そこでゆっくりと深呼吸の要領で、息を吸って、そして下の方、丹田の方まで下ろしていって、そして3回ぐらいに分けて徐々に鼻から抜く、こういう方法をとってみてください。では始めてください。
Slowly inhale deeply and bring that breath down to your abdomen. Then exhale that breath in 3 parts through your nose. Please begin.
.さらに大きく息を吸ってください。もう少し大きくお腹まで息を下ろして少しずつ出してみてください。
Take an even bigger breath. Inhale more deeply. Bring that breath all the way down to your stomach and let it out bit by bit.
全身のどこにも力が入っていないことを確認してください。
Make sure that you are not tense anywhere in your body.
.はい、結構です。
Okay.
では次の段階に入ります。
Then let's go to the next step.
皆さんの心の一部を実在界に遊ばせるということを練習してみたいと思います。
I would like to practice taking your mind on a trip back to the heavenly world.
昔から桃源郷というものがある。それは素晴らしい理想世界である。本来私たちの魂がみんな知っている世界、素晴らしい世界があった。そしてみんなそこに住んでいた記憶がある。この世界を忘れ去ってふさわしい、それが私たちの現状である。
From ancient times, people have talked of a paradise, a fabulous, ideal world we all once knew. We all have a memory of having lived there, but our present selves have long forgotten it.
今一度この都会の生活、現代の生活を離れて 心のふるさと、人が来ない山奥の秘境の中にある桃の花が咲き乱れているような、そんな美しい桃源郷。
So let us leave behind this urban life, the life we live today, and imagine our home in heaven, a secret place in the mountains where no one visits, a paradise with peach trees abloom with flowers.
パノラマのように目の前に素晴らしい世界が開け、青い山の向こうには銀色の川が流れている。そして真っ青な空が澄んでいる。鳥たちが素晴らしいコーラスをさえずっている。こういう世界のことを思い浮かべてみたいと思います。これは至福の世界であり、幸福の世界であります。
Let your eyes take in a panoramic view of this beautiful world. Gaze at the silver river flowing through the blue mountains under a clear blue sky, and hear the birds singing a fabulous symphony of sounds. Imagine this world of eternal bliss and happiness.
それではもう一度背筋を伸ばしてください。肩や手に力を入れすぎないようにして背筋だけ伸ばしてください。首筋、そうですね。そしてまた呼吸を整えてください。
Please sit tall with your back straight, but keep your shoulders and arms relaxed. Then calm your breathing again.
ではその姿勢で皆さんが本来いた世界に旅立ってください。
In this posture, please journey to the world you originally resided in.
目は半眼で結構です。皆さんの本来の世界、心のふるさとが各人あります。そのふるさとを見ようとしてください。その姿を見てください。
You may keep your eyes half open. I am sure that there is somewhere in the world you are originally from that you call the home of your soul. Please try to see that world. See what you look like in that world.
各人の守護霊よ、各人の心のふるさとを見せてください。各人の守護霊よ、心のふるさとを見せてください。
The guardian spirit of each attendee, please show them their soul's home. Guardian spirits, show them their soul's home.
はい、静かに目を開けてください。
Please quietly open your eyes.
How was your meditation? What were you doing up there? As I mentioned, it is not necessary for us to work for food in the heavenly world. Because we should not eat. It's not necessary to eat up there. So we can do anything you want. What would you like to do in the heavenly world as an angel? In the world of angel, they are saving the people. They are guiding people. So what we can do to become an angel or going back to angelic world, we have to practice self-reflection, meditation, and studying the truth. That is a great source for us to become angel. Master Okawa told me how to become an angel, so we can go back to the angelic world. He is the savior because we are given so many teaching about the spirit world and the principle of the universe. So those principles, the laws of the universe, will save the people. That's why we are studying the laws of the universe, such as the laws of the sun. So studying these truths will save the people. So let's study the truth and preach the laws of the sun or other principles of the universe to the people who are suffering in this world. As I mentioned, at this moment, the world is in the middle of chaos. But actually, the world is getting darker and darker. So that is why now the time to study the truth and put them into practice and ready for the darker world. Eightfold Path is cleansing our mind and give us the light. So we are going to show the world with our light and also the truth of light, light of truth. So we are going to back to heavenly world as an angelic world. Let us invite more people to the world of angel. That is our mission. And Master Okawa is the teacher, guiding us to become an angel. So let us study more this Eightfold Path. So we'll see you next week. Same place, same way. Actually, I'm now in the Atlanta. So we are going to practice Eightfold Path in the temple. I hope we are going to see sometime in a real. Okay? Thank you very much for joining us today, and we'll see you next.